So, Hinowa got canceled, and I'd just like to share some of my thoughts on that. So, in case you didn't know, there's a sequel manga to Akame got killed called Hinowa got crushed, and after 7 or so volumes or so, it was announced last week that it was getting canceled, and the main reason was mostly due to poor sales, as it was kind of competing in the inhospitable manga industry in Japan. And the manga artist himself, Strelka, it might be a girl, went on an in-depth explanation about it on Twitter, and it was like 2 pages or so long. I'll probably link that down below. So, as someone whose waifus in the series is just overall being invested in it, I just want to share my thoughts about it from, I guess, more of an, I don't know, a fan perspective. A lot of these ideas, though, were taken from a discussion I had with a fellow fan of Akame's. He's got her as her waifu, too, because, he got good taste. And, well, first off, unless it's One Piece, all fictional series unfortunately must come to an end. Either the character's journey ends, or just the story just stops being written, and the latter happened in this case. Now, with that being said, I don't think Hinowa got crushed getting cancelled will end all further stories in the Akame got Kill universe. It's kind of far removed enough to where Takahiro could just pretend that Hinowa got crushed never happened and not really face any consequences. There's also a bunch of other things he could do as well to keep Akame got Kill stories publishing. Some of them are like, he could start a new story that happens, back in the Empire after everything in Hinowa got crushed just resolved itself, poof, memory hold. He could also just create an alternate timeline where Akame just never goes to that island, and this actually happened in the anime adaptation, so it's already written. Overall, I saw Hinowa got crushed as a stepping stone for the Akame got Kill storyline towards something even greater, and since it's kind of far removed, that greater thing can still exist even without that stepping stone. In the end, who the hell knows what's going to happen? I mean, if Takehiro's other stories really don't turn out too well, he may give the Akame got Kill universe another try again. Only time will tell. In the meantime, however, there's still much depth to explore pertaining to the series. I mean, the Akame got Kill universe has been publishing stories for 12 years. Let me just put something into perspective for y'all. Dr. Jordan B. Peterson can make a 7-hour analysis of the story of the original Pinocchio movie, and that movie was just an 88-minute long children's cartoon that was mostly made in the 1930s. So with that in mind, I think there's plenty to talk about with Akame got Kill, especially considering that there's 500 minutes of animation, not including the openings and the endings, as well as thousands and thousands of pages of manga. Imagine how many video essays could be made. Imagine how much hidden meaning there is to explore. You just need a smart person to just put their mind to it, and we'll have plenty. Now here's my perspective from a fan whose waifu is in the series. One concern of a fellow Akame lover is that Akame will end up being a nostalgic waifu. And, I can see that concern. However, I really don't see being a nostalgic waifu as a bad thing, if it even never comes to that. Just look at waifus of ye olden days like Yoko from Gurren Lagann or Rei from Eva. Despite being from finished works, they're still very popular today. Still see way too many cosplays of it. Still see fan art around pics of in DeviantArt and stuff. Even the top tier artists and stuff, I think occasionally draw it. So, now I know what a lot of you are saying, and the reason why I'm actually able to put Akame in the same boat as those waifus is because of how popular SDEF is today. Because, the main SDEF was from the main series, and the main series ended years ago, and despite that, SDEF still got full momentum and stuff. Just a lot of fan art, a lot of cosplays and stuff. So, I do feel like I do see some potential here. Again, it won't, have the sheer vast numbers, but it'll still be a very popular and very solid niche. Now, compare waifus like Akame, SDEF, Rei, and Yoko and stuff to just seasonal waifus who everybody just forgets about after a few months. When you compare it to seasonal waifus and stuff, Akame is definitely a long-term solid waifu to stay, and I'm proud of that. Additionally, there's also a potential blessing for Akame. You see, in Hinowa got crushed, Akame was just a side character. The plot was mostly centered around Hinowa and her lifelong friends, and now since it's cancelled, it frees Takahiro up to make a story that's actually more centered around Akame. Now, if they continue with the anime timeline, some people may be concerned that certain characters, won't be present in the anime timeline, and I feel like that's a good thing for Akame. I say that because it will most likely lead to more attention going towards Akame. It may very well mean that Akame is the main character, and not, that other guy. I'm fully self-aware that I'm sounding quite optimistic, possibly bordering on copium, and I'm really upset by this news, actually. I mean, I had high hopes for Hinowa got crushed, and it sucks to just see the manga just not end up playing out. I'm just offering you an alternative perspective and some possible predictions. So, what do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments. Anyways, guys, peace. And I hope you appreciated the Akame Daki Maroka. Best girl.